So life has been pretty stressful in the past 2 months, like over the top with my work, and it's getting to a pretty rough point for me where I'm like working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. kind of days nonstop. Literally go to the bathroom at like my lunch time because I'm sitting on calls, and that's me being
terrible.
late to calls. It's horrible. So I'm like hitting kind of a point where I'm over this shit. But something that has been very relaxing for me and for Jean, and honestly just cathartic. We've been watching HGTV. We started with, on Hulu. Okay, so I don't know if Hulu just knew, like, it's a trying time. They should start watching this. But we were advertised My Caribbean Life, and we got pretty deep into that.
The weird coincidence of it all is about like a month ago, we were beginning our Friday evening, and we were beginning to have some drinks, and we started discussing, at what point do we just say, fuck it, let's just go overseas, or let's do something crazy and let's live somewhere just to give it a shot, somewhere that we absolutely love. No, I know, out of the ordinary, something out of ordinary, and just say let's go do that. And so we had discussed it, literally took a shot over it, and then said, let's put a timeline on it, maybe like a
5
year.
years.
Yeah, 5 years. I think, like we said, 2 or 3 years we'd go and actually start assessing those locations.
Yes, I get a sabbatical at my job where I get a month off, and people typically take 6 weeks.
So that discussion occurs, and then we start seeing the recommendations on Hulu.
My Caribbean Life. A lot of shitty build outs, but beautiful beaches and locations. And then we were already sold. And like Sean had mentioned, we were planning on going and spending my sabbatical in Italy and possibly exploring the idea of living in Florence, because that place is very special to us both. But then we got advertised My Mediterranean Life, and our plans have gone next level, guys. Okay, we've gone to Spain on the show. Well, we have been to Spain, but in the show we go to Spain, Croatia, Crete, Malta.
Yep.
Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Where else?
I think that's it. There's been a couple where they've like bounced back over to those. Oh, south of France.
And the south of France, which was very expensive. And Jean and I are pretty sold now that, I don't know, we're Spain people, man. That, what is that coast called?
No, I'm not even going to say it. So I'm not going to say it because of the fact that I literally, to this point, I have been most pleased with that area.
I know.
And if any of you fuckers, looked at this place, you guys would be like, yeah, fuck yeah, we get what you're saying.
I'm not even going to say it.
I'm literally keeping that to us.
We're not going to say the town.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it to ourselves, because if anybody ruins it,
fuck you guys.
it'll probably...
yeah.
I don't know. John and I will be devastated for the rest of our lives. We'll be like, remember when we had those grand dreams of moving to Spain? I mean, it's amazing, though. I find it so, seriously, when I have a stressful day, and I still have kept up with my workouts, so I'll, work out and eat dinner and be like... Sean's like, what do you want to watch? You want to watch a show? I'm like, My Mediterranean Life, please. It's going to be so relaxing for me. It's amazing. These people, except for I think south of France and maybe, was it Croatia that was a little pricey? One spot in Croatia was a little pricey. The other episode in a different area was not as bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was one on the mainland.
Malta. Malta was... No, Malta wasn't overpriced. It was just kind of small.
Yeah.
I guess he got an apartment for $1,500, $1,600, but it didn't look great.
Not bad, though.
But it was beautiful scenery. But these people, I mean, we literally watched somebody in Spain get a 3-bedroom, 3-bath townhome with 2 big ass not a veranda, balconies, but the big kinds.
Yeah.
And they were right in the middle of town, 5-minute walk to the beach. These assholes literally packed a picnic after they moved in and walked down to the beach, and they filmed them. We're like, No, but they got this place for $900.
Yeah.
$900.
Yeah, it's rough to watch that shit because of the fact that the places that they look at are so beautiful, and it's sometimes like,
And the paella.
yeah, half the price or a third of what we pay. And so,
Oh, yeah, you guys don't want to know what we pay in rent. It'll make you cry.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
It's unfortunately, it's typical Scottsdale prices, which is brutal. So,
and Phoenix prices. Phoenix isn't that much cheaper than what we pay here.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. But it's funny because as we're watching it, we're sitting here making our judgments on what we would choose between the typical like 3 options that they'll go through. And I've had a former colleague of mine who had a girlfriend that was on that show, and they told me the format of it. And I don't know if you guys know this, but what they do is that they go out and find people who have already purchased a place in that town that they are moving to. So, for example, this one, I believe, specifically was to move to Dallas. And so they were doing a show about homes around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And they had already committed a purchase to that place. And so what they did was they toured 2 other places and then threw that one into the mix before they moved in. So it looked empty. And so they acted as if it was like a whole thing about them, you know, picking and choosing about the places and the pros and cons.
Right,
and all that.
but they choose the place that they already...
Well, of course, because it's already fucking a done deal.
What if they were like, fuck,
these
places are better?
Well, we say, like, a lot of times. Like,
I know, when they pick the shitty place, we're like, oh, man.
That means that those sucks. 2 were either not fucking there or, like, maybe they had, like, another realtor specifically for the show or something like that, and they were probably like, fucking kidding me? Are you joking? Was that available around the same price range with the same things and better and, you know, all that? I would be so fucking angry.
I know, but man, these people, some people move with their kids. It was funny because
you're talking about overseas.
Oh yeah, sorry. Back to Mediterranean life. I don't want to hear about Dallas. Mediterranean life, like a lot of people are like, oh, we just packed 3 suitcases, and then I remember the people going to France. And they had, like, I think 2 or 3 children, a dog, at least 1 dog. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, oh, yeah, we packed 20 suitcases.
They said they sold everything, right?
No, they rented they rented their place in Colorado, and then it showed that's right. a driveway full of suitcases, so it was a little different vibe than everybody else.
Yeah,
they also paid like over $1 million for their place.
That's true, but that was like the first over $1 million one. In fact, that may
everything
have been
else was inexpensive for the most part,
like sub 500s, I think, for the most part.
Somebody in Greece, I think, paid outside of Athens, paid like $2,200 in rent a month.
Right.
22, 23, which was pricey because, like I said, Spain, $900. All the sangria and paella that your little heart desires. Fabrizio
fucking mention it
could be a little Spanish puppy.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's great, but it's very highly recommend if you guys want to fantasize about doing something different with your life. Like Jean and I don't have any children, and we've said this for years. Like we have always said that we were gonna just move out of the country because I've visited a lot of different countries now at this point in my life, but I haven't lived anywhere else. So Jean has, but I would like the experience. And what's the point of not having kids and making good money? #dink, dual income, no kids.
That's right.
But what's the point of doing that if you don't like enjoy it? I don't want to be old and then get to enjoy my life. Like, that's so depressing. Mad props to those people that do get to enjoy their life, regardless young or old. But that's just not what I want my future to be. Yeah.
So moral of the story, go fucking fantasize and dream about, changing locations, because if there's any fucking time to do it, guys, it's now.
It's now. I mean, hey, when we met, we were like, let's get out of Oklahoma. Let's do it.
We did it ASAP.
And we did it. We took risk, and here we are, 11 years later.
Yep.
Your angry wife and all.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers to our future Mediterranean life.
Don't fucking tease me.